Hi, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we'll just be covering what the basics are that you need to get if you are working with children with your community interest company. So if you're running community projects that with children, you will need to get certain things. So I'm just going to run through in this video what they are and where you can find them. So before I jump into that, please hit the subscribe button for everything to do with community interest companies, social enterprises and grant funding. So if you want to speak to me or you want to do my course, How to Set Up CIC and Get Grant Funded in 4 months, please jump over to my website. So that aside, what are you going to need? So I've been running projects and work with children for 10 years now. So I am pretty au fait with all the regulations of what you need. I also mentor hundreds of other CICs and some of them work a lot more with children than others. So everybody's needs vary. So first of all, if you are going to be working with children, so you will need an enhanced DBS check if you're going to be working with children. So that's if you are going to be doing workshops, you could do any kind of engagement at all with children, you are going to need an enhanced DBS check. Now, if you may say, if my directors aren't going to be doing any work with the CIC, do they also need to have any DBS checks? And the answer to that is, it depends. If your project is going to be going for grant funding and it's going to be doing a lot of work with children, getting grant funding from people like Children in Need, then they will actually say that all of your directors, all of your volunteers, all of your staff must have enhanced DBS checks. So it's no good thinking, oh, maybe we can just get a normal DBS check, the standard one. No, there's no point in doing that. You might as well just get the enhanced one for everybody, and then everybody is covered so you can work with children. Now, if your project isn't going to be working with children and maybe you just come into contact with them as an actual worker on your CIC projects, then you could just get away with just having you, as long as you're not going for any kind of funding like Children in Need, etc. Remember, DBS checks don't just cover children, they also cover vulnerable adults. So if you're going to be working in any environments or doing any workshop work with vulnerable adults, that was also covered under the DBS checks. So how do you get a DBS check? So you can't, as an individual, get an enhanced DBS check. You will need to use an umbrella organisation. So there is a link which I'll put in the description for the government guidance on where to find out who the local umbrella organisations are. So there's actually a link where you can click on and there'll be a list of them. The other thing you could do is ask your local authority. So your local authority may do them for you. So you need an umbrella organisation to be able to get them. Now, your CIC can be an umbrella organisation. So what I have done before is done a Google search, found those companies that actually offer enhanced DBS checks. You register your CIC and then your CIC can then actually get any staff or anyone else that it wants. So your CIC almost has its profile, and your CIC can then get all your different staff's DBS checks done. Now, I do find that doing it like that through a private company is more expensive. It's around sort of £70, whereas if you get it from a local authority, it can be like 30, 40. So there does seem to be a price difference. Also, you do need to check with these online ones so they're actually even going to count, because you don't want to do one online and then actually you find out it's not actually government approved. So do always check whether it's approved or not. Now, some of you may say, well, I've already got a DBS check from my day job, so does that count? And the answer is yes, it does. So if you already have a DBS check from a job you're in, maybe you're a teacher, then yes, it does. DBS checks last for 3 years and you can show them to different employers. If another employer has got it for you, you just need to show that to them. Keep a photocopy of it, keep a record of it. So aside from DBSs, what else do you need? So if you are, again, working with children or vulnerable people, you will need safeguarding training. So you'll need a lead safeguarding worker. The lead safeguarding worker needs to do training. It's around £450. Again, you can ask your local authority for that training, or you may be working with a partner who may be able to give it to you as part of their training of their staff. So do see who you're partnered with and maybe ask around. If you have got that good standard, it may be that you are allowed to then train your other staff in basic safeguarding training. So you may be able to do the training for your other staff and volunteers. If not, then they can get their just standard safeguarding training from places like the NSPCC, which offer a safeguarding training for just £25. And I'll put the link in the bio for that. So I also want to mention that if you are working with children for more than 3 hours at a time, then you may be in a different area of skills that are going to be needed and qualifications that are going to be needed. So if you're working for more than 3 hours with a group of children, and obviously on a regular basis, that's what your project's doing, then actually you may need to go off and get childminder training and all sorts of other training. So teachers and stuff like that will already have that qualification, so they can do that. But if you are someone that doesn't have that qualification already, then just bear in mind that you might want to make sure that you're only working with children for under 3 hours at a time, so you don't have to go off and get all that other qualification. So aside from all of that, you also will need lots of policies. So you'll need policies on safeguarding, etc. So you can get examples of these policy documents in my membership. So if you are a member, which you can join for just £6, I've got all sorts of templates and policies and stuff that you can get. So do jump over to my website and check that out. So I hope that was useful. If so, please hit the subscribe button so you can find out more about community interest companies and everything else that I cover on this channel.